Welcome to the Metal Prognosis. My name is Lee. On today's video, we are going to be looking at, again, because we've already done a video on this, but the Joyo Boogie Master from the Ironman series. So this is a Mesa Boogie Rectifier Amplifier Simulator, which has got a really nice ring to it. Long name, but a nice name to ring to it. So I really like the results I got last time when I played this. What I thought would be cool is, let's see how far we can actually push it. So I've got my 7-string guitar back there, which is tuned to G, which is very deep tuning. So the lower tuning you go, the harder it is to control the distortion sound before it becomes just too muffled and hard to identify any of the notes or chords. So I thought, let's put this little bad beast to the test. So let's see what we can do to make my 7-string sound good through this. So it might need a bit of assistance with other pedals to spruce it up a bit and give it that spark maybe to help clean it up or to get more clarity out of each note that I'm playing. But it's going to be fun. And it's going to be interesting to see what it's like matching up other pedals with this one. So I'll set up a little camera and we'll talk through it together as I'm finding the right settings between it all. And in all my videos, we will do a jam. So I'll do a little bit of a jam along too and share that with you. And then we'll have a chat about it afterwards. So yeah, let me set this up and see what the Boogie Master sounds like with a 7-string and a little bit more an aggressive type of metal. This is going to be fun. Now we have everything set up ready to go. What I've decided to do is I've added my Fortin 33 pedal because the Fortin 33, I put it in the category of enhancement pedals. So they don't do much by themselves, but they help enhance something that's already pretty cool. So if we can get a good distortion sound coming straight out of the Boogie Master, hopefully it will enhance it like it does a really good job enhancing normal amplifiers. So, as in the real thing. So let's, before I turn it on, like all my videos, this is what it sounds like before it's engaged. And we shouldn't get much of a signal on because we haven't got the amplifying part of the chain engaged yet. So we should just get a little bit of a signal. Yeah, we're getting very little signal coming through. So let's engage this and we get the lights. Give it some volume. I think we need to crank it if I remember correctly from last time I used this. And just like a normal amplifier, this simulates it really well where we've got the volume up and we shouldn't get any sound still. Correct, we don't. Because you still need to give it a little bit of a drive. And in this pedal, it's got a voicing, which is like a mid boost. But if you have it all the way down, it kind of disengages everything. Which happens in a real amp, which is good. So we give just that a little bit, and we should get something now. So this is the equivalent of having an amp on a clean setting. But we don't want clean, we want dirty. So let's push this drive up a bit and see what we get. Sound a little bit dull, so let's give it some tone. So let's just chuck it at either high noon or 12 o'clock, however you want to describe it. All right, it's sounding better. Let's give it a little bit of voicing. All right, now it's starting to get somewhere. Give it a little bit more voicing. Let's just try the tone quickly. Yeah, that really makes it pop, doesn't it? All right, so that's sounding like a decent distortion. So now let's engage the 33 and see if it makes it better or not. So this being a boost pedal also works, how can I explain it? Pretty much if you turn it all the way down, it cuts the sound off. So you can kind of use the single knob that it has as a controller as well. So if I play something now, we get no sound. So let's engage it and let's, as in, boost up the volume from it and see what we get. So let's turn it off, just to give ourselves a reminder. So here is, let me just play a quick riff. Now turn it on. Turn it back on. So in this video, I've been playing a few more chords compared to what I normally do, because I really want to see how this handles the low tuning in a chord scenario. So let me just do a couple of chords so we can really home in and focus on that. So this is with the 4th and 33 turned off. And on. Really tightens up the sound a lot. So let me just do one more thing before we move on to my little jam session that I enjoy doing, which is I want to talk about a thing I call breathability. So when I'm dealing with an amp like this, which has a bit more weight than I thought, doesn't help when I'm sitting down and trying to carry it. What I'd like to test with that is its breathability when I got it plugged in. So what I'm referring to then is how much dynamics do I have as a guitarist to add to it before it starts stealing the sound away from me. Okay, so for example, let me turn it off for now. So if I'm just playing one single note, how much characteristics can I get out of my right hand naturally? So, for example, if I play so that to me has a decent amount of breathability just through the Boogie Master before turning on the 33. Because I felt like as I was going from the palm muting to open and being able to really accent all those notes just with my right hand, I could build some characteristics and some rhythm from it. So let's try that again, but with the 33 and see if we can get the same type of breathability and room to move and maneuver, or is it going to cloud it in too much and make it too compressed and too lifeless from a guitar playing perspective. Interesting. I felt like I had, like I'll talk about more of this in my final thoughts, but just as an initial reaction, they both had similar breathability aspects, but different. I definitely felt like I had to play slightly differently, and I got different effects, but we still had those accented notes really punch out compared to when I was just pottering palm muting away. So that's really cool yeah. So, which kind of makes sense, because if we get it just out of the Boogie Master, then the likelihood of getting it out of the 33 is extremely high. If we didn't get it out of the Boogie Master, then the chance of getting it out of the 33, a part of this chain, would be very slim, because it needs to start in the foundation first, which in this case is a Boogie Master. So I'm actually really liking this little tone we've got going. it's sounding good. Now, I could just sit here and keep potting away and doodling around this guitar because it's heaps of fun, but it's best that we keep pushing on. So I'm going to take a bit of time away from the camera, compose a little bit of a jam and a bit of a jingle. I'll set it up in the Brady Bunch format with a few different videos of each take that I do. And then I'll have my final thoughts about it afterwards. So in saying that, in about 5 seconds, I hope you enjoy the song, and I'll see you on the other side. Time for my final thoughts on the Boogie Master, which is the Mesa Boogie Rectifier Amplifier Simulator. That's a little jingle. So today's little video is putting it to the test with a 7-string on how it holds up. And what I decided to do in the last minute, which I'm sure you would gather right now, is I did one take with the 33 disengaged and then engaged it. So let's first have a quick chat about what it was like without the 33 and just having the Ironman Boogie Master on its own. So it didn't handle, it handled the low notes not too bad. So while we were playing the chords, it was fine. It did well. But I really felt like once I added it into the mix, so doubling the guitars and adding the bass and drums, I think mainly the drums played a big part in it. I felt it became a little bit lost in the mix, and it kind of got a little bit muddy, and it wasn't as defining each note that I was playing, and yeah, so it did all right. Wasn't too bad, but it wouldn't work good as a standard standalone guitar take, so to speak. Not so much my playing, but the tone that we captured just with this isolated. And then we decided to turn on the 33, and I felt this really made it really cut through the mix and really gave it a nice edge, a nice gritty edge, and really, what's the best way to describe it? So the accented notes that I played really popped and really, really stood out with the 33 engaged compared to not having it there. So it actually able the song to have more characteristics and be more lively from a guitarist perspective, having the 33 engaged. So yeah, in saying that, this worked out not too bad with the 7-string with the 33 engaged. I think it sounded decent and pretty cool. Yeah, which is pretty gnarly considering how how tiny this is. And these are definitely not expensive either. So if you were thinking about a budget recording and getting a decent distortion, or if you're doing demos or whatnot, these can come in pretty darn handy, which is brilliant how technology's come this far, how you can utilize something as tiny as this. Yeah, I haven't put this to the test with a live rig yet, so I don't know how it would stand up to that. That might have to be my next adventure, this little pedal. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else I can really talk about with it, because I did all my thoughts pretty much as I was dialing it through on the fly. So, in saying that, with everything that you've seen in this video, I want to know your thoughts. That's the important part. So, how did you feel as I was dialing in a tone just with the Boogie Master before engaging the 33? Did you feel it was clear enough? Did you feel like there was enough there? Do you feel like I should have maybe invested a little bit more time in this or not? So yeah, definitely. What are your thoughts on that? And how did you feel once I engaged the 33? Do you feel the same as how I did? Do you feel like it really popped and brought it more to life? Or were the opinion of it took too much bottom end away and took a lot of the grunt away from it? And I kind of feel like a lot of people think when they think about heavy tones, about that big bottom end dynamic. And do you think I took too much away from it when I engaged this 33 pedal? So yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts in regards to both of them, as well as the thoughts on I'll just put them like that so they look a little bit better. Your thoughts on the two different comparisons in the band. So when we added bass and drums and doubled up on the guitars, how do you feel they both sat in the mix? Are you on the same page as me, or do you have a different opinion on the matter? Neither are wrong. It's just all interesting. So yeah, please let us know your thoughts. Also, if you have any other video ideas, I just want to talk about gear in general and to get in contact with this channel. There's also a Facebook page that I'll leave a description in the description below that you can click on so we can engage there and see other things that I do on Facebook as well. And in saying that, I might as well do my sign off because I think I've babbled on long enough. So whether this video is in the foreground or the background, I definitely appreciate your company and being a part of these conversations. If you know anyone else that might be interested in these type of videos and conversations, or like talking about guitar tones and gears, please let them know that my channel exists and point them towards it so we can really help this grow and become more than what it is. And I really look forward to chatting with you next time. And in saying that, until then, please stay safe.